The Bears have lost more games in a row than total points were scored tonight. That would be 10 straight losses in a row. Seahawks win 6-3. I'm Harrison Graham. Not a Merry Christmas. The Grinch stole it as the Bears fall to 4-12. Seattle keeps their playoff hopes alive. They improve to 9-7. I mean, there are so many ways to go with this game and just with this team in general. They're an awful team at every level. Coaching, players, all of it. We'll talk about it all. But who do you guys blame? Who do you blame for the Bears' loss tonight? You go a lot of angles. You go coaching, you go Caleb, you could go offensive line. You can't go defense. You held Seattle to 6 points. Ownership, I think it's all fair. I really, really do. Ryan Poles, I mean, what did we hear after Hard Knocks, after training camp? Ryan Poles in his presser before the season, he said one of the offensive linemen they cut went up to him and said, "Hey, I just want you to know this is the most competitive offensive line room I've ever been in." Basically saying like, "Hey, like I'm upset you cut me, but I understand it." I don't know if Poles made that up or if that guy has just played with a bunch of YMCA offensive lines, but Jake Curran cannot play. Larry Borum cannot play. Coleman Shelton is fine, but he's rolling snaps back there. I mean, what a disaster. And then sometimes Caleb's holding the ball too long, and then Keenan's dropping passes, and then when Caleb throws an awesome touchdown, Jake Curran holds. It's just, if it's not one thing, it's the other. If it's not a missed throw, it's a drop pass. If it's not a drop pass, it's a missed block. If it's not a missed block, it's a penalty. If it's not a penalty, it's a horrible play call. If it's not a horrible play call, it's DeAndre Swift not seeing the proper lane. I mean, this offense is just so bad. And it's actually been better than the defense recently, but not tonight. And I understand in the middle two quarters of this game, it was a downpour. So I'm not sitting here acting like this is a game where you got to go for 350 yards. Like that's probably unrealistic. But Jesus, man, the Seahawks are begging you to win this game. Like, they had everything to lose. You had nothing. I don't want to say nothing to gain, but you had nothing to lose. And you go out there and you got no shot, man. You got no shot, and it's just a bad football team. It's a really, really, really bad football team. And I know it says 4 penalties for 23 yards, but the holding on Jake Curran literally cost you the game. You might have won, as crazy as it sounds, you might have won this game 7-6 if he doesn't hold. God, this team fucking sucks, man. I can't believe – I'm so happy there's only 60 minutes of this left. Caleb was not very good. Certainly did not get enough help. Got sacked, 7 times? Let's see. 7 times tonight. That's 67 on the year. Outside shot of setting an NFL record. Most of those on the O-line from the initial naked eye. Probably 3, I'd say 4 on the O-line, 3 on him. Under pressure a lot, though. We'll talk about the late game sequence in a second. I did not think he was very good. Made a couple wow plays. The touchdown that got called back was unbelievable. The 4th down conversion after Thomas Brown decided to punt, then he changed his mind. That was a whole disaster. And then Caleb bails him out. They get to the 40, and they can't get another yard and have to go for it on 4th down because Cairo Santos has a weaker leg than me. Can't even try a 57-yarder. God, I know I'm rambling, but this product is just an embarrassment. I mean, the fans I thought the crowd was awesome tonight. They showed up the day after Christmas in a fucking downpour when it's 37 degrees. Crowd showed up. It was a hell of an atmosphere. And for that product to be put on the field, George McCaskey should be ashamed of himself. Ryan Poles should be embarrassed. Kevin Warren should step in and do fucking something about it. Because that was unacceptable to go out there and to put up 3 motherfucking points in that game. Come on, man. You let us know, do you believe in Caleb? I still do. I don't believe in him with this type of structure of an organization, though. The coaching's bad. We'll outline that after we talk about our sponsor. The receivers aren't separating enough. He's missing throws at the wrong time. The offensive line's not protecting. It's all just a disaster. Gee, I believe in the talent, but he can't overcome this much chaos. Like, you have to get him help. Obviously, that starts with the coach, which they're going to choose this offseason, but Jesus. If you're Ben Johnson watching that, sure you want to come here? I don't know. We're sponsored by Rocket Money, and then we'll talk about the late game sequence. RocketMoney.com/BearsNow. Stay on top of your finances with Rocket Money, as it's a personal finance app that can help you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Most Americans think they spend around $62 per month on subscriptions. That number is really closer to $300. RocketMoney.com/BearsNow is the place to go. And download the app today. Listen, clicking a few buttons, you can cancel subscriptions that you either aren't using anymore or that you don't want to pay for anymore. Rocket Money will take care of it and do the rest for you. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and counting and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, including saving members up to $740 per year when using all of the app's features. Get started with Rocket Money today at RocketMoney.com/BearsNow. That's RocketMoney.com/BearsNow. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. It's RocketMoney.com/BearsNow. All right, let's talk about Thomas Brown. I mean, Jesus. I'm not going to change my mind on they had to fire Matt Eberflus, but I did not expect basically to get the exact same situational coaching. I mean, my God. If you didn't watch the end of the game, it's 4th and 1. Seahawks take a timeout. Out of the timeout, what happens? Jake Curran false start, of course. Well, it's still 4th and 6. You can't punt. There's 2:15 to go. You're a 4-11 team. Sure, you could punt, play defense, get the ball back. What do you have to lose, right? Well, what does he do? He puts the fucking punt team out there. The whole crowd's booing. He then takes a timeout to change his mind. So not only do you have no choice but to go for it, if you don't get it, the game is basically over if Seattle gets one first down. So the process is just completely out of whack. He has no clue what he's doing. 3 guys come unblocked, and Caleb Williams, fading away 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, throws a frozen rope to DJ Moore, who gets a first down, gets you up to the 40. And then you throw 3 incompletions, then Caleb drops the snap because, of course, they can't maintain any momentum, gets sacked, gets 1 yard on a tunnel screen on the next play, throws it away on the play after that, and on 4th and 10, he gets picked off because the Seahawks blitz 7 and 5 guys were in his face, and he had to just throw it up. Jump ball, Keenan Allen can't make a play on it. Intercepted. Interception-less streak ends at 3:54. Bears lose 6-3. I mean, that process by Thomas Brown is laughably bad. Like, look, maybe we all talked ourselves into it a little much. Hey, I'll hand up. I'll take accountability. It was more so about I'm willing to see anyone except Eberflus finish this year out, but Thomas Brown is not ready to be a head coach. That is very clear. Like, you have to have feel, man. Even if you think your defense could get you the ball back, and based on how they played in the second half, that's probably true. Dude, you're 4th and 11 and you're near midfield. Just fucking go for it. There's no reason to punt there. And then to spin. And by the way, once you do decide to punt, you kind of have to punt. You can't take a timeout because then if you take a timeout and don't get the first down, the game is basically over. I mean, you're lucky Caleb bailed you out. And again, you didn't play well. This and that, all that stuff. I've said all that. But my God, man, this is hard to watch. And you can see the frustration boil over your rookie quarterback. After he shook some hands, he sprinted off the field after the game. I mean, this ain't good, man. This is not good at all. And I just can you imagine how bad it's going to be next week if the I mean, you should be praying tonight that the Packers sit their starters in Week 18, that they're in a situation where playing their starters doesn't make sense. Because if Matt LaFleur plays that game straight up and plays to win, they will absolutely pants the Bears next week. It'll be like the Saints the other night, 34-0. I would expect something similar. It'll be an absolute embarrassment, and the season can't end fast enough. Nothing's working. The offense, and by the way, I do want to mention this. They're having to run Shane Waldron's offense, which is a complex, timing-based offense. Like, maybe don't hire a guy and have him to install an offense that guys who need to be in the NFL for like 8 years run. Maybe that would have made more sense. What a train wreck. What an absolute train wreck. And I'm just at a loss. I mean, if you told me you held this team to 6 points, I'd be like, oh, I mean, even if they had a bad offensive night, they'd probably win like 17-6. No, you lost 6-3. I mean, it's like the Washington game 2 years ago when you lost 12-7. Just like what can go wrong will go wrong. And it's on the Bears. It starts with the ownership, and it trickles on down all the way to the last man on the roster because this team doesn't have what the fuck it takes. Period. End of story. And by the way, I'm sure there will be a few, draft pick. Dude, you're going to be picking somewhere between 7 and 10 regardless of what happened in the last 2 games. Can you win a goddamn football game? You've lost 10 in a row, and it's going to be 11. Even if the Packers play their backups, Malik Willis has looked pretty good this year. They're not going to beat Malik Willis. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's going to be so painful next week. Hit that subscribe button. We got you guys covered. Can't get to the offseason soon enough. Coaching search is the focus. It starts there. You got to get that right because if you don't, we're going to be going through it all again. We're going to be going through it all again. And if you miss on the coach, you'll be drafting a new quarterback in 2 years, and the cycle continues. An absolute disaster class at Soldier Field tonight. Shout out to the fans who went because you guys did your job. That was impressive. I did not know what to expect from the crowd tonight. It was loud. They were rocking. This team sucks. They stayed. I mean, they deserve better. This fan base deserves so much better. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Bears lose 6-3. What a joke.